One bright Saturday morning, Tom woke up to the sound of birds singing outside his window. Sunlight streamed into his room, filling the space with a warm golden glow. He stretched his arms, sat up in bed, and looked around his room. At first, everything seemed normal. But after a few moments, he noticed something he had been ignoring for a long time. His room was messy. Books were stacked on the floor. Clothes were scattered across a chair. Toys, notebooks, and small objects covered his desk. Dust had collected on the shelves, and several empty water bottles sat near the bed. Tom sighed. "I really need to clean this room," he said to himself. For weeks, he had promised to organize everything, but he always found an excuse to do it later. Today would be different. After eating breakfast with his parents, Tom returned to his room carrying a trash bag, a broom, and a cleaning cloth. He stood in the middle of the room and looked around carefully. The task seemed huge. For a moment, he felt overwhelmed. But then he remembered something his father often said. The best way to finish a big job is to start with one small step. Tom smiled. That sounded like good advice. He decided to begin with the easiest task. Picking up trash. He walked around the room collecting old papers, empty bottles, snack wrappers, and other items he no longer needed. Slowly, the floor became visible again. The room already looked a little better. Encouraged by his progress, Tom moved to the next task. Organizing his desk. The desk was covered with school supplies, books, pencils, drawings, and random objects. Tom carefully sorted everything into groups. School books. Art supplies. Important papers. Pens and pencils. As he organized, he discovered several things he thought he had lost. A favorite pen. An old photograph. And a small notebook filled with drawings. Looking through the notebook brought back many memories. He remembered drawing those pictures during a school vacation several years ago. Some drawings were funny. Some were surprisingly good. Tom smiled as he turned the pages. Cleaning was already becoming more interesting than he expected. Soon, he placed the notebook safely on a shelf. Then he continued working. The morning passed quickly. Little by little, the room became cleaner. The shelves were dusted. The desk was organized. The floor was clear. When Tom finally stepped back to admire his work, he felt proud. His room looked brighter. More comfortable. And much more organized. But his work was far from finished. His mother entered the room and smiled. "It looks wonderful," she said. "Thank you," Tom replied. Then she added something unexpected. "Would you like to help clean the rest of the house today?" Tom looked around. The idea sounded challenging. But after seeing how much better his room looked, he felt motivated. "Sure," he said. "Let's do it." His mother smiled. Together, they started with the living room. The living room was where the family spent most of their time. Books, magazines, blankets, and small items had slowly accumulated over the weeks. Tom picked up magazines and stacked them neatly. He folded blankets. He organized cushions on the sofa. His mother dusted shelves and cleaned windows. Sunlight poured through the freshly cleaned glass. The room immediately felt brighter. As they worked, they talked about many things. School. Friends. Future plans. Cleaning felt easier when combined with conversation. Soon, the living room looked beautiful. Everything was neat and organized. Tom could hardly believe the difference. The clean room felt larger somehow. More peaceful. More welcoming. His mother smiled proudly. "A clean house can change how people feel," she said. Tom thought about that. She was right. The clean rooms already made him feel calmer. More comfortable. More relaxed. The next challenge was the kitchen. The kitchen was always busy. Meals were prepared there every day. Naturally, it required regular cleaning. Tom helped wipe countertops. He organized kitchen drawers. He cleaned the dining table. His mother washed shelves and sorted cooking supplies. As they worked, Tom discovered ingredients hidden at the back of cabinets. Old packages. Forgotten snacks. Unused spices. Everything was sorted and organized. The kitchen slowly became cleaner and more efficient. By lunchtime, both Tom and his mother were tired. But they were also satisfied. The house already looked dramatically different. After lunch, Tom sat quietly in the living room. He looked around at the clean space. Everything felt fresh. Comfortable. Peaceful. For the first time, he truly appreciated the value of organization. A clean environment helped people think clearly. It reduced stress. And it created a pleasant atmosphere. Tom smiled. The day was teaching him an important lesson. Cleaning was not just about removing dirt. It was about creating a better place to live. After resting for a while in the clean living room, Tom felt ready to continue. The house already looked much better, but there was still one area that everyone had been avoiding for a long time. The garage. Tom followed his father outside and stood in front of the large garage door. His father opened it slowly. As soon as the door lifted, Tom's eyes widened. The garage was crowded with boxes, old furniture, tools, bicycles, sports equipment, and many other items. Dust covered nearly everything. "Wow," Tom said. His father laughed. "I know. It's been a long time since we cleaned this place." For a moment, the task seemed impossible. But then Tom remembered how messy his bedroom had looked that morning. If he could clean his room, he could help clean the garage too. His father handed him a pair of work gloves. "Let's start with one section at a time," he said. Tom nodded. Together, they began moving boxes toward the center of the garage. Some boxes contained old books. Others contained toys, holiday decorations, and forgotten household items. As they worked, dust floated through the air. Tom sneezed. His father laughed. "I think the garage is happy we're finally cleaning it." Tom laughed too. After sorting several boxes, Tom discovered a small cardboard box hidden behind an old chair. It looked very old. The edges were worn and faded. Curious, he opened it. Inside were dozens of photographs. Tom carefully picked one up. The picture showed his parents many years ago. They looked much younger. His father had more hair. His mother looked almost the same, but younger. Tom smiled. "This is funny," he said. His father looked at the picture and laughed. "I remember that day." The photograph had been taken during a family vacation near the beach. For several minutes, they looked through the photographs together. Each picture told a story. There were birthdays, family trips, school events, holiday celebrations. Every photograph captured a special memory. Tom enjoyed listening as his father explained the stories behind each picture. It felt like traveling through time. Soon, they found another interesting box. Inside were Tom's old toys. There was a toy train. A collection of toy cars. A stuffed bear. And several action figures. Tom picked up the stuffed bear. "I remember this," he said. His father smiled. "You carried that bear everywhere when you were little." Tom laughed. The bear looked smaller than he remembered. But it still brought back happy memories. For a moment, he sat quietly thinking about his childhood. Sometimes people grow so quickly that they forget how much they have changed. The old toys reminded him of simpler times. Eventually, they continued cleaning. They sorted items into 3 groups. Things to keep. Things to donate. Things to throw away. The process took several hours. Some decisions were easy. Others were difficult. Certain items held special memories. But Tom learned that keeping too many unnecessary things could create clutter. It was important to keep meaningful items while letting go of things no longer needed. As the afternoon continued, the garage slowly transformed. The floor became visible. Shelves were organized. Tools were placed neatly in their proper locations. Boxes were labeled. Everything looked much better. Tom felt proud of the progress. Near the back of the garage, he found something unexpected. An old bicycle. It was dusty and slightly rusty. Tom immediately recognized it. It was his first bicycle. The bicycle he learned to ride when he was 7 years old. He walked over and touched the handlebars. Many memories returned. He remembered falling. He remembered practicing every afternoon. He remembered the excitement of finally riding without training wheels. His father joined him. "You worked very hard to learn," he said. Tom smiled. "I almost gave up several times." "But you didn't," his father replied. "That's why you succeeded." Tom thought about those words. The old bicycle reminded him that progress often requires patience and persistence. The same lesson applied to cleaning. And to many other parts of life. As the sun began to lower in the sky, the garage looked completely different. It was cleaner. Brighter. More organized. The transformation was amazing. Tom could hardly believe it was the same place. His father looked around proudly. "We did a great job today." Tom nodded. "We really did." Before leaving, they placed the boxes of donations near the door. The items would be given to families who could use them. Tom liked that idea. Instead of collecting dust, the old items could help someone else. The thought made him happy. As they closed the garage door, Tom felt tired but satisfied. The day had been full of work. But it had also been full of discoveries. He found old photographs. He rediscovered childhood toys. He remembered important moments from his past. Most importantly, he spent valuable time with his father. Cleaning the garage turned out to be much more than a cleaning project. It became a journey through family memories. As they walked back into the house, Tom smiled. The house was cleaner than ever. And his heart felt full of gratitude. Tomorrow, there would still be more work to do. The backyard and garden needed attention. But for now, Tom was happy. He had learned that sometimes the things we find while cleaning are far more valuable than the cleaning itself. The next morning, Tom woke up feeling excited. The previous day had been busy, but it had also been rewarding. His bedroom was clean. The living room looked beautiful. The kitchen was organized. And the garage had been completely transformed. After breakfast, Tom stepped outside into the backyard. The morning air felt cool and fresh. Birds sang from nearby trees. Sunlight sparkled across the grass. At first glance, the backyard looked pleasant. But after looking more carefully, Tom noticed many things that needed attention. Leaves covered parts of the lawn. Weeds had grown between flower beds. Several plants looked dry. Some garden tools were scattered near a small shed. Tom's mother joined him outside carrying gardening gloves and a watering can. "Today," she said with a smile, "we're going to make this garden beautiful again." Tom smiled. "I'm ready." His mother handed him a pair of gloves. The work began immediately. First, they collected fallen leaves. Tom used a rake to gather leaves into large piles. The work was simple but satisfying. Each pile made the yard look cleaner. As he worked, he noticed butterflies flying between flowers. Small birds searched for food beneath the trees. Nature seemed busy and alive. Soon, several large bags were filled with leaves. The backyard already looked much better. Next, they focused on removing weeds. Weeds had spread throughout several flower beds. Tom carefully pulled them from the soil. His mother explained why this was important. "Weeds take water and nutrients away from flowers," she said. Tom nodded. "So removing them helps healthy plants grow?" "Exactly." Tom continued working. Little by little, the flower beds became cleaner. Bright flowers began to stand out again. Red flowers. Yellow flowers. Purple flowers. The garden slowly regained its beauty. After removing weeds, Tom and his mother inspected the plants. Some flowers looked healthy. Others needed extra care. Several plants were dry because they had not received enough water. Together, they watered every flower bed. Tom enjoyed holding the hose and watching water sparkle in the sunlight. The plants seemed to come alive immediately. Their leaves looked brighter. Their colors appeared richer. The garden felt happier somehow. As they worked, a friendly voice called from across the fence. "Good morning." Tom looked up. It was their neighbor, Mrs. Parker. She was an elderly woman who loved gardening. Her garden was famous throughout the neighborhood. Beautiful flowers surrounded her home. Colorful plants filled every corner. Mrs. Parker smiled. "It looks like you're working hard today." Tom laughed. "We're trying to clean the garden." Mrs. Parker nodded. "It's looking wonderful already." Then she walked over carrying a small tray. On the tray were several flower seedlings. "I'd like to give you these," she said. Tom's eyes widened. "Really?" "Of course. Gardens are meant to be shared." Tom thanked her. His mother thanked her too. The flower seedlings were beautiful. Some would grow into bright red flowers. Others would produce colorful purple blossoms. Tom could not wait to plant them. Mrs. Parker showed him the best places to plant each flower. She explained how much sunlight each type needed. She taught him how deep to place the roots. Tom listened carefully. He enjoyed learning from someone with so much experience. Soon, they began planting. Tom dug small holes in the soil. His mother placed the seedlings carefully into position. Then Tom covered the roots with soil and watered them gently. One by one, the new flowers found their homes. The garden became even more colorful. Tom smiled every time he planted another flower. He imagined how beautiful the garden would look in a few weeks. As the afternoon continued, they turned their attention to the garden shed. The shed stored tools, pots, and gardening supplies. Unfortunately, it was messy. Very messy. Tom opened the door and stared inside. Rakes leaned against shovels. Empty pots sat on shelves. Garden gloves were scattered everywhere. His mother laughed. "It reminds me of the garage." Tom laughed too. Together, they organized everything. Tools were hung neatly on hooks. Pots were stacked carefully. Supplies were sorted into containers. After an hour of work, the shed looked completely different. Finding tools would now be much easier. Tom felt proud. Organization made such a huge difference. Later, they trimmed bushes around the backyard. Tom used small gardening scissors while his mother worked on larger plants. They carefully shaped each bush. The yard began to look neat and professional. Even the family dog seemed impressed. The dog ran happily across the freshly cleaned grass. Tom laughed as he watched. By late afternoon, the transformation was incredible. The backyard no longer looked neglected. It looked welcoming. Beautiful. Peaceful. The flower beds were clean. The grass was tidy. The shed was organized. New flowers had been planted. Everything looked fresh and vibrant. Tom stood quietly and admired the garden. It was hard to believe how much had changed in a single day. Mrs. Parker returned later to check their progress. Her eyes widened. "My goodness," she said. "It looks fantastic." Tom smiled proudly. "Thank you for helping us." Mrs. Parker nodded. "You did the hard work." Then she gave Tom one final piece of advice. "A garden teaches patience." Tom listened carefully. "The flowers you planted today won't bloom tomorrow. But if you care for them every day, they will become something beautiful." Tom thought about her words. The lesson applied to more than gardening. Good habits. Friendships. Learning. Success. Many good things require patience and care. The garden was teaching him valuable life lessons. As evening approached, the golden sunlight bathed the backyard in warm colors. The flowers glowed softly. The trees cast long shadows across the grass. The scene looked peaceful. Tom sat on a bench beside his mother. Together, they admired everything they had accomplished. "I'm glad we did this," Tom said. His mother smiled. "So am I." The backyard felt like a completely new place. A place where the family could relax. Read books. Have picnics. Or simply enjoy nature. Tom felt grateful. Cleaning the house had started as a simple chore. But it was becoming something much bigger. Each project taught him new skills. Each day brought new memories. And each accomplishment filled him with pride. As the sun slowly disappeared below the horizon, Tom smiled. Tomorrow would bring another challenge. There was still one final area of the property that needed attention. The front yard. And after that, the family planned a special celebration. But for now, Tom was happy. The garden was beautiful. The flowers were planted. And another wonderful day had come to an end. The next morning, Tom woke up feeling excited. Over the past few days, he had cleaned his bedroom, helped organize the house, transformed the garage, and restored the backyard garden. Each project taught him something new. As he looked out the front window, he noticed that one area still needed attention. The front yard. The grass had grown unevenly. Leaves were scattered near the walkway. Some bushes needed trimming. The front gate looked dusty. Tom smiled. Today would be the day to finish the job. After breakfast, he grabbed his gloves and headed outside. The weather was perfect. The sky was bright blue. A gentle breeze moved through the trees. Birds sang happily from nearby rooftops. His father joined him carrying gardening tools. "Ready for one more project?" his father asked. Tom nodded confidently. "Let's do it." They began by cleaning the front walkway. Tom used a broom to sweep away leaves, dirt, and small branches. As he worked, the path slowly became cleaner. The stone walkway began to shine in the sunlight. Every few minutes, Tom stepped back to admire his progress. The difference was already noticeable. Next, they focused on the bushes near the entrance. Several branches had grown too long. Some leaves looked dry. Tom carefully trimmed the bushes while his father collected the clippings. The work required patience. Each small cut helped improve the appearance of the yard. Soon, the bushes looked neat and symmetrical. The front of the house immediately appeared more welcoming. As they worked, neighbors walking by began to notice. A young girl riding her bicycle slowed down. "Your garden looks beautiful," she said. Tom smiled. "Thank you." A few minutes later, another neighbor stopped to say hello. Many people complimented the improvements. Tom felt proud. Their hard work was making a difference. Around mid-morning, Tom noticed someone across the street. It was Mr. Wilson, an elderly neighbor who lived alone. Mr. Wilson was trying to rake leaves in his yard. However, the work seemed difficult for him. The pile of leaves was large. The rake moved slowly. Tom watched for a moment. Then he looked at his father. "I think he could use some help." His father smiled. "I was thinking the same thing." Without hesitation, Tom walked across the street. "Good morning, Mr. Wilson," he said. The elderly man smiled warmly. "Good morning, Tom. Would you like some help?" Mr. Wilson looked surprised. "That would be wonderful." Tom immediately got to work. Together, they raked leaves into large piles. Tom moved quickly while Mr. Wilson guided him. As they worked, Mr. Wilson shared stories about the neighborhood. He told Tom how different the area looked many years ago. There were fewer houses, more trees, and open fields where children played. Tom listened carefully. The stories were fascinating. It felt like hearing a piece of local history. Soon, Tom's father joined them. Together, they finished cleaning the yard much faster. Mr. Wilson looked around and smiled. "It looks better than it has in months." Tom felt happy. Helping someone else felt just as rewarding as cleaning his own home. Before they left, Mr. Wilson thanked them again. "You've done something very kind today." Tom smiled. "We were happy to help." As they walked back home, his father placed a hand on his shoulder. "I'm proud of you." Tom felt warm inside. Those simple words meant a lot. Back at home, they continued working on the front yard. The grass was trimmed. The flower beds were cleaned. The gate was washed. Everything began to look fresh and inviting. By lunchtime, the front yard looked completely transformed. The family sat together for lunch and talked about the morning. Tom told his mother about helping Mr. Wilson. She smiled proudly. Kindness makes every community stronger, she said. Tom nodded. He understood exactly what she meant. After lunch, Tom decided to take a short walk around the neighborhood. As he walked, he noticed something interesting. Several neighbors were working outside too. Some were planting flowers. Others were sweeping driveways. A few were cleaning gardens. The neighborhood seemed more active than usual. Perhaps seeing one family work hard had inspired others. Tom liked that idea. Good actions often encourage more good actions. As he continued walking, he saw Mrs. Parker again. She was watering flowers near her fence. When she noticed Tom, she smiled. "I heard you helped Mr. Wilson this morning." Tom nodded. He needed help with the leaves. Mrs. Parker smiled warmly. That was very thoughtful. Then she added something important. A beautiful neighborhood isn't only about clean gardens. Tom listened carefully. It's also about neighbors helping each other. Tom thought about her words. She was right. The clean house and garden were important. But kindness was even more valuable. Later that afternoon, Tom returned home. His family had one final surprise. His parents had purchased several colorful flower pots for the front porch. Together, they planted bright flowers in each pot. Red flowers. Yellow flowers. Blue flowers. Purple flowers. The entrance looked beautiful. Every visitor would feel welcome. As the sun slowly moved across the sky, the family completed their final tasks. The house looked amazing. The garage was organized. The backyard was beautiful. The front yard was clean and colorful. Everything felt complete. Tom stood near the front gate and looked at the house. He could hardly believe how much had changed in just a few days. More importantly, he had changed too. He had learned responsibility, patience, organization, and kindness. The experience was about much more than cleaning. It was about becoming a better person. As evening approached, his parents announced exciting news. Tomorrow, they would celebrate all their hard work with a special family gathering. Grandparents, cousins, and relatives would visit. Everyone would see the transformed house. Tom smiled. He could not wait. The house was ready. The garden was beautiful. And the family had much to celebrate. As the sun set beyond the neighborhood, Tom felt proud. Not just because the house looked better, but because he had learned lessons that would stay with him forever. The next morning, Tom woke up with a big smile on his face. Today was a special day. For nearly a week, he and his family had worked hard cleaning, organizing, and improving every part of their home. They cleaned bedrooms, organized the garage, restored the backyard garden, transformed the front yard, and even helped their neighbors. Now it was time to celebrate. Sunlight streamed through the windows as Tom got out of bed. He quickly got dressed and hurried downstairs. The house looked beautiful. Everything was clean and organized. The floors shined. The furniture looked neat. Fresh flowers decorated several rooms. The entire house felt warm and welcoming. His mother was already busy in the kitchen preparing food. His father was arranging tables and chairs in the backyard. The family was expecting many visitors. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. Everyone would arrive later that morning. Tom wanted everything to be perfect. After breakfast, he helped his parents with the final preparations. Together, they placed colorful decorations around the backyard. They arranged flowers on the tables. They prepared drinks and snacks. The garden looked wonderful. The flowers Tom planted with Mrs. Parker were beginning to grow. The grass looked green and healthy. Butterflies moved between colorful flowers. The backyard felt like a peaceful park. Around 10 o'clock, the first guests arrived. Tom heard a car pull into the driveway. He ran to the front door. His grandparents had arrived. As soon as he saw them, he smiled. His grandmother opened her arms. Tom gave her a big hug. "We've missed you," she said. "I missed you too," Tom replied. His grandfather smiled warmly. "You've grown taller again." Tom laughed. "Everyone says that." Soon more relatives began arriving. Cars filled the driveway. Friendly voices echoed through the yard. Children ran across the grass. Adults greeted one another with smiles. The house quickly filled with laughter and conversation. Everyone admired the improvements. Tom's aunt looked around the living room. "This place looks amazing," she said. His uncle nodded. "It's cleaner and more organized than ever." Tom felt proud. Their hard work was being noticed. Later, his grandparents toured the garage. His grandfather stopped and looked around. "This garage looks completely different." Tom smiled. "We spent an entire afternoon cleaning it." His grandfather nodded approvingly. It was worth the effort. Next, everyone visited the backyard. The reaction was even stronger. The colorful flowers. The tidy garden beds. The organized shed. Everything looked beautiful. His grandmother smiled as she admired the flowers. "You've become quite the gardener." Tom laughed. "I had a good teacher." He told her about Mrs. Parker and the gardening lessons she shared. His grandmother listened carefully. "Good neighbors are a treasure," she said. Tom agreed. By lunchtime, everyone gathered around large tables in the backyard. The weather was perfect. A gentle breeze moved through the trees. Birds sang nearby. The atmosphere felt peaceful and joyful. The family enjoyed a delicious meal together. There were sandwiches, fresh salads, fruit, grilled vegetables, and several homemade desserts. Everyone shared stories while eating. Tom listened to family members tell funny memories from years ago. His grandfather told stories about his childhood. His cousins talked about school and hobbies. Laughter filled the yard. The afternoon passed quickly. After lunch, the younger family members decided to play games. Tom and his cousins organized a friendly soccer match in the backyard. The game was exciting. Everyone laughed and cheered. Even some adults joined for a few minutes. The competition was friendly and fun. Later, they played hide and seek. Then they played tag. The garden became full of energy and excitement. As the children played, the adults relaxed nearby. They enjoyed conversations and admired the beautiful surroundings. Tom noticed how happy everyone looked. The clean house and garden helped create a comfortable environment where people could enjoy spending time together. In the late afternoon, everyone gathered under a large tree. Tom's grandfather stood up and raised his glass. "I'd like to say a few words." The family became quiet. His grandfather smiled warmly. "This house has always been full of love." He looked around at everyone. But this week, something special happened. He pointed toward the garden. The work you've all done shows responsibility. He pointed toward the garage. It shows determination. Then he looked directly at Tom. And helping neighbors shows kindness. Tom felt surprised. Everyone was looking at him. And he learned that helping others brings happiness. His grandfather smiled. "I'm very proud of you." Tom felt warm inside. The entire family applauded. For a moment, he felt shy. But he also felt proud. Not because the house looked nice. But because he had grown as a person. As evening approached, the sky slowly turned orange and pink. The sunset painted the clouds with beautiful colors. Everyone sat quietly for a few moments, enjoying the view. The backyard looked magical in the evening light. The flowers glowed softly. The trees swayed gently in the breeze. The atmosphere felt peaceful. Tom sat beside his grandparents. "Did you enjoy the celebration?" his grandmother asked. Tom smiled. "It was perfect." His grandfather nodded. "You should be proud of everything you've accomplished." Tom looked around. The clean house. The beautiful garden. The happy family. The friendly neighbors. Everything felt connected. The week began with a simple cleaning project. But it became much more than that. It became a journey. A journey filled with lessons, memories, and personal growth. As darkness slowly arrived, family members began preparing to leave. One by one, they said goodbye. There were hugs, smiles, and promises to visit again soon. Eventually, the driveway became quiet once more. The celebration had ended. But the memories would remain. Tom helped his parents clean up a few remaining dishes and decorations. The work was easy. After all, the house was already organized. Soon everything was finished. The family sat together on the backyard bench. The stars began appearing overhead. For a while, nobody spoke. They simply enjoyed the peaceful evening. Finally, Tom's father smiled. "You worked very hard this week." Tom nodded. "It was worth it." His mother smiled too. "We're proud of you." Tom felt happy. The week had taught him something important. Big accomplishments happen one small step at a time. Whether cleaning a room, growing a garden, or helping a neighbor. Every small action matters. As the stars filled the night sky, Tom smiled. The house was clean. The family was happy. And his heart was full of gratitude. It had been one of the best weeks of his life.